Yes, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen, on the Red Pill News. And how are you guys doing? You know, I look out there in this world and I shake my head with disbelief, and people are getting dumber by the day, more ignorant by the day. It's a welcome thing. No political body wants you to be intelligent because then you're going to question what they say and what they do, and if they're actually representing you properly. And they understand that they need your vote. And so if they need your vote, there is a power to voting, but we need more choices, more people to get in there that are going to actually reflect the wants, needs of the people. So having said that, Facebook, right? Facebook's stock is taking a dump, for instance. It's at actually a 2 year low. I think today it ended up at 160, whatever today. You know, I love that because people are speaking with their wallets and they're realizing that, things like Facebook are not something that's worthy when it comes to legitimate business investments, because Facebook uses an agenda to judge its users, to restrict its users. So I'll give you, for instance, I was restricted from something I posted on May 14th, right? Keep in mind, I don't post negative images. I don't post terrible things. I don't post anything remotely offensive. Even you have to be pretty far to get offended by some memes and this that whatever. So they said, we understand that people make mistakes, so we're not going to suspend you right now, but you're restricted for 45 days. And I'm like, 45 days? What the hell did I even do? And their version of restriction is I'm not allowed to advertise on Facebook. And then out of the pages that I own, that my posts go to the bottom, basically I'm the only one who's allowed to post on them. So there's that, or the lower third, and there was some other stupid thing that they said. So it's like, so it gets me right about, they don't tell you, there's no due process. They don't say, hey, this is the proof, this is the reason why. They just say it's against community standards. I had a fight with community standards and the county of Tompkins County, upstate New York, with the district attorney at that time, George Dentes, who is now dead. And Dentes didn't like my TV show, what I was showing, what I was airing, what I was talking about. And I had done this show about anti-violence, and I used images from the Playboy channel video and just rerouted it on cable, and was talking about plain old nudity, just nudity. It wasn't like no sex scenes or like that, just nudity, right? And I'm like, this is offensive to people. This nudity, seeing someone's breasts or buttocks or whatever, uh, this is offensive. But watching people get murdered every day, get their heads cut off, get chopped into pieces, is not right. And I just didn't understand. I still don't understand the media and how they can kind of slam the door on one thing that has a beautiful essence to it. It's just nudity, and then open the door up for this evil, for your children to be exposed to it and have it all day. It's not healthy to see all these negative images. You know that, right? Not healthy. And I don't want to hear Hollywood talking about, well, it's not real, so we could do it. Let me tell you, man, it looks real. It seems real. They're using real guns. They're using real stuff. Alec Baldwin shot and killed a woman and shot another guy on set with a gun, with a real bullet. It is real. And to a child growing up, to that little 2, 3, 4, 5 year old, whoever sits that kid down in front of a TV set with no responsibility whatsoever, letting them see this crap, it is real. And they grow up with those images. They get desensitized to that violence. Oh, then give them some first person shooter games that were developed by the military so they can train soldiers and let those kids grow up shooting people in a very real looking environment. But in real life, there's no reset button. There's no undo button, So, but it is real. It is real. So for Linda Carter, Wonder Woman, back in the day, Wonder Woman come forward saying, "Oh, answering because people are criticizing Matthew McConaughey on his rant about guns." And this is a guy who uses a lot of guns in his movies and shoots and kills a lot of people in his movies. You know, Linda Carter comes out in his defense saying, "Oh, it's just make believe, and just like I had a magic plane and the golden lariat, and all the stuff that she mentioned with her boobs spilling out, which was a good reason to watch the show." I'll give you. There weren't a lot of guys watching Wonder Woman. Guys are more $6 million man. You know what I mean? Steve Austin running 60 miles an hour, saving a lot of money on gasoline. Now that $6 million wouldn't even pay for a foot. You know, you know what I mean? You got to add some cash there for that dude to be put back together again. But the reality is, it's something, images that are unacceptable for children to partake in. And you have generation now has grown up on this heavy stuff. So when you wonder, oh, how could that 18-year-old take those guns and go shoot a bunch of kids? You know why? Because this stuff has been hammered into their heads. Plus, that dude in Texas had a lot of mental problems. He cutting himself, cutting his face on anti-social media and all these other things. And people want answers. They want answers. All these answers. Oh, yeah, the cops were outside for 77 minutes when 12 of the children were still alive. And a couple of them who had already been shot had only been shot once and maybe could have survived if they had gotten medical treatment. And the police chose not to go in. Not until the Border Patrol TAC team decided, hey, we're not waiting anymore. We're going in and engaging the shooter. So, yeah, people want answers. Let me tell you, man, the answers are there. But what about a solution? What about solution? Answers are for the after effect. You need a solution before those things happen. You know that the one, he should have never had guns. Most of these shooters, man, you look into their backgrounds, they should have never had guns. And then people talk about the types of guns and this and that and assault weapons and what their age is. Let me tell you, man, we were 18. We had those same guns. Nobody went around shooting each other. Nobody went around going to malls or schools and laying people out. You'd hear about the occasional mailman that would go in and wipe out a bunch of people with an Uzi. But aside from that, those things didn't happen. The mentality is different. The guns aren't different. The mentality is different. Then you have these political extremists out there that give the green light to people to commit violence just because you don't agree with their opinions. Then they want to commit violence against you. So let me tell you, man, it's a goddamn clown show, is what it is. Then you get Biden. Psst, really? This dude? Now the left has even turned on him. They don't want him to run. He's not. He's losing his abilities and whatever. Don Lemon when CNN went went after Biden. So Biden now he's angry. He's always an angry old man. The guy is always forever threatening people, threatening to take people. Let's go outside. Let's go outside, old man. Old man Biden's gonna beat you down. That's his mentality. That's a horrible mentality to have. He's got a lifetime in politics. He's created something, nothing. I mean, he's done nothing. He's never done anything. He's just taken up space, and here he is. Right here he is. Trump. They got those January 6th hearings going on. Let me tell you, man. This dude Trump threw Pence under the bus. I don't appreciate that as a human being. I don't appreciate that. I mean, Pence was there for him the whole time, and Trump was like acting like a big kid that didn't understand what the hell was going on. And then he incited those people to run at the Capitol. It was like just a convention of tarts, and it should never have happened. But the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, wanted it to happen. They were hoping it would happen. They wanted it to happen so they could say, "Look, these are the MAGA people," trying to erase the fact that all that liberal rage during Trump's presidency, burning down police stations and all the terrible things they did was justified because of their anger. Why do you think that people go into schools and shoot people? Why do you think they go in the malls and shoot people? Why do you think they go to supermarkets and shoot people? Because they're crazy and they're being driven over the top, past the tipping point by all this negative political rhetoric. There's no safe bastion. If you're someone who just doesn't want to partake in it, you have to shut it off. You got to shut off the internet. You got to shut off the TV. You got to shut it off. Watch movies from the 70s and the 80s. Try to stay away from this megalomania and also this anger out there that wants to destroy everything. So people getting shot, just walking down the street, no fight, no nothing, not even a dirty look. People get stabbed, thrown in front of trains. You have cities under a major crime wave and a crisis. You don't know what the hell to do about it. Eric Adams, mayor of New York City, he's a disgrace. I was supporting this guy for a minute. Even after he made all those negative comments in the beginning, I was supporting him, thinking, okay, this guy was ex-transit. He thinks he can solve the problems. Nothing. He's going to parties, hanging out with J Lo. You know, he's going to California. He's hanging out with Dave Chappelle and people like that. The guy is enjoying the high life. Regular common man. Now he's all famous, right? But there's a city in crisis. I never thought I'd see the day that the United States would be begging other countries for baby formula. And all of these are very real events. All these are very real things. There's a crisis in every area. And if there's no escape, if there's no escape, people lose it. They get pushed over the line. They lose it. Prices up, rents are up, fuel is up, everything is up. Pay is down. It's not like people are getting back to work so easily. They keep touting the job market. Let me tell you, man, it's a tricky market, and most of those jobs being advertised out there aren't real. They're just collecting applications. So, but this is what we've wrought, right? This is what people want. They want this. Isn't it what they wanted? I hear people complaining, especially from the left. You can't complain. You did this, but I'm not gonna make excuses for Trump. I think that he was too polarizing, too much negative attention drawn to him, and not for the mission. It became he got down to the trenches with these idiots and just battled it out, and it just kind of took away any kind of credibility and any kind of manageability to the White House. So, but we're in a duality type of world, aren't we? And then, there's like weird parallels going on left and right and left. I'm looking to put together a class action lawsuit against Facebook for these suspensions and for when I reached out about my restrictions, a whole bunch of my friends, in fact, basically all of them, got back at me and said the same thing. One was restricted from something she posted 4 years ago. You know, so you think, what the hell are they doing? What are they doing? What are they? They just want to, but read the wording. We understand that people make mistakes. So automatically they're using shaming language on you that you made a mistake, even though you don't know what that mistake was, or if it was some stupid meme or whatever, something that went against their own community standards. And by the way, that case in Ithaca, I won that case against that DA, and then he was ousted because he was a horrible jerk, and then he died in his new job going into the courthouse in Albany, and that's life, you know. Said he found me to be personally lewd, crude, obnoxious, and obscene. Let me tell you, man, those are my strong points. You just listed all my good points. But nonetheless, I didn't do anything wrong. They want to make you crime. I remember after they had me arrested for doing my show, they had a thing, yeah, because they had the cops go right in on the air and drag me out, and arrest me, and then crime. The cop who arrested me is on my Facebook. We've been friends since. But the local media had the big thing, crime with handcuffs, crime. It was something that there was no crime. It was something the DA didn't like. You know, obscenity. Really? I think the whole damn system's obscene. I thought he was obscene. I thought everything that guy stood for was obscene. But he was one of those people who was a Christian conservative Republican who was, which is kind of funny if you think about Ithaca, New York, which is such a liberal armpit, So, but it came down to that, and it came down to the battle, and you know, we kicked his butt. And it wasn't hard either because I had free speech on my side. It was actually the Constitution, pulled out the Constitution during the trial. So, but that came down to community standards. Community standards. What are community standards? It's not a hand-picked team that Facebook takes and says, "Oh, you're hired. You're hired. You're going to be fact checkers." I posted a quote from Socrates the other day. They fact checked the quote from Socrates, and they said it was false. So yeah. So community standards. I'm sure Socrates would be crushed to find out that the sucker cuck berserk people are out there fact checking Socrates. But when you get to the point where you start talking community standards, I'll say it like this: community standards is what that community is willing to put up with, what they think is okay, what they think is all right. And it comes down to the majority of the people and also the minority of people. It really comes down to all of the people and the different levels of acceptance to things, right? Community standards. So for them to say you're restricted, but we're not going to tell you what it was for, but you did the wrong thing, so we're not going to suspend you. We're just going to restrict some of your stuff for a month and a half, which is a long time. And a whole bunch of my friends got the same ones at the same time. It's like they just kind of pick people to restrict who have any kind of middle of the road or conservative voice. If you're not some babbling out of your mind limousine liberal, then they restrict you. They take you out. It's not social media, it's socialist media. It's a media that doesn't base its platform in free speech or truth. It's a media that bases its platform in what their agenda, what they want to push. So you wonder why the stock is going down. You wonder why all these social media platforms are starting to die out. That nobody wants to be part of them anymore. It's not exactly a fun thing anymore, is it? It used to be, but not anymore. So I want to put together a class action lawsuit against Facebook, get a bunch of people together who have been wronged. This could affect your professional career if you're restricted or suspended from something that they deem, and then your boss finds out, your workplace finds out, anything like even in a relationship, it could affect you negatively in a lot of different ways. But they're dirtying your name by doing that without any kind of trial, without any kind of due process, because they don't have to, because they're a corporation. Their thing is, well, it's our private company and you can just use something else. But enough people use it, especially for communications, where you can say it's a public platform. It's a utility to me. People are using the messenger. They're using Facebook telephone to communicate. Facebook puts it out there. Use our platform to communicate with each other. But if they don't like what you say, they're going to restrict you or suspend you or ban you, right? So this is going to be a fight, and it's about being able to have no restrictions on what's on your mind unless you're threatening people or doing something illegal. Yeah, there's free speech that's illegal. You can't scream fire in a crowded movie theater unless there is one. There's free speech that's illegal. But when you're just talking politics and you're talking common sense or the things that you fear or what's on your mind to your friends on your Facebook, that company shouldn't interfere with you and then tell you you're wrong. They fact checked me on Simpsons, the cartoon, because all of these things that the Simpsons has predicted was going to happen in the future has happened, is happening. And I think it's funny. So I posted after the whole January 6th thing. It was that there was a Simpson episode exactly the same where they were rioting in the Capitol, and they had the same dude with the horns and the painted face wearing. It was the Scottish guy, Willie, the janitor who was wilding, man. He had the horns and the face painted. That was a long time ago. And it actually happened for real. So I put that up there. Simpsons predicts the future again. That's what I said. They suspended me for 48 hours because of that, and then they fact checked me, and then they said that this isn't real, and you're not to pay attention to this. It's not real. Oh my God! So it comes down to be power hungry. That Facebook is power hungry. They're power hungry over other people. I use Facebook. I don't spend a dime on them. I wouldn't give them money, not for anything. They could restrict me from advertising on them for the rest of their lives because I don't care. And I know that their ads are ineffectual. I know that when it comes to commerce, that they don't do well when it comes to moving items. So what are they really? What are they really? There's a lot of certainly a lot of fake profiles on there and hackers that'll steal your information. They should spend their time going after those people, right? But that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Socialist media. And the people that run these social media, they're the worst types of people. Same for Twitter, same for all these other things. You see how the meltdowns happening on the left over Twitter, over Elon Musk, purportedly going to buy Twitter. Now he's trying to determine how many people are actually on there because there's a whole bunch of robots on there and they lie about their numbers. You can't lie about your numbers. If I buy IBM, the big corporation, and they have 1.2 million customers, and I'm buying their customer list and everything, and then I go to find out that 800,000 of them are fake. They can't do that. That's illegal. They know that they're fake. They know exactly who's real and who's not real. But when it comes to their favorite candidates, like a Joe Biden or an AOC or people like that they support, those robots mysteriously go for those people. And they like what they say and they support what they do. They're all fake. This is a representation of falseness, right? Manufactured. And then they try to sway other people. Look, all these other people are supporting him. How come you're not? You know what I mean? So Paige Spiranak named sexiest woman alive on Maxim Hot 100. Maxim Hot 100 should be a radio station. Yeah. Anyway, so this is my thing about feminists. How come they aren't all over Paige Spiranak? How come when a male says he thinks a woman is attractive, is sexy, that's toxic behavior, that's toxic male, toxic masculine, you're not allowed. We're sexual beings. The fact is only two things that motivate people, which is pleasure and pain. We're sexual beings. We look at each other. Ooh, I think you look pretty hot. Let's get together. You end up having kids. Blah, 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 blah. Get a mortgage. Have a life, right? Some. But the feminists will go after the people like that, but never go after people like Maxim or any of that. So you're not supposed to look at others objectively, like objectification, or you look like a sex machine. I think you're hot. Can't say that to women anymore. They're like, me too. And they kick you right in the nuts. You know what I mean? Some cockroach stompers on, man. They've been pre programmed. Me too. Excuse me. Can I buy you a drink? Me too. And they kick you. Think I can't afford my own drink, bastard? Okay. Paige Spiranak is in disbelief after being named the sexiest woman alive for Maxim's Hot 100 list. At least it wasn't like Caitlyn Jenner or something. So be thankful for that this far. The golf influencer graces the cover of the 2022 Maxim Hot 100 issue, which features Spiranak in bed, braless, under an open white button up shirt. Where's that picture? I want to see a picture of some angry dude on here. All right, I'm lost now. I want to see that one. Spiranak posed, no golf clubs or anything like that. Spiranak posed braless in a number of photos in the Maxim spread, including a variety of sultry looks. One shot shows the blonde in a pair of bikini bottoms while standing on a pedestal overlooking a beach. So What this has to do with golf is nothing, right? She's not out there playing golf in her thong. It'd be interesting. I'd probably end up watching if that did happen. And yeah, because I'm a man, you know what I mean? And there's different things that keep you alive and keep you going. Even the little just increments of happiness that you can get here and there. You know what I mean? But no feminists running out screaming their heads off on how evil she is and evil the magazine and how dare you put yourself out there and blah 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 blah. Right? Spiranak also gushed over the honor in a post on Instagram, which I deleted off my phone. Thank you, and it's much faster now. So I got rid of Twitter too. I was gone. I put it back when Elon was going to buy it, and then I went on there, and just the amount of haters on the Twitter. Oh my god, it's just they're twits. They're twits who are twittering, right? And I don't need to be part of that. I got a new thing. I don't want to partake in things that make me feel bad. I don't want to watch a movie that leaves me feeling bad. I don't want to watch any kind of show, nothing, which doesn't leave very much. It's kind of like searching for items in the store that don't have sugar or any kind of sweetener. I'm on an anti-sugar kick, and it's very, 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 very difficult to find those things because they basically put it into everything, right? We subsidize the sugar manufacturers in the United States of America. These companies barely even put any money into their own companies, but not the goddamn farmers, right? You go in, the produce in the store is 6,000% more than what it should be. And then what gets me too is that they'll let things go bad on the shelf before reducing it in price and letting it go to somebody else. They'll let things. Some stores will do that, reduce the price. Usually those things are if it's meat, it's like brown already. It's not anything red anymore. It's slimy and stinky. And they're like, no, you can eat it, right? So they actually cover it with Italian seasoning and call it gourmet. That's the game they play, you know. Yeah, they're not there to help you. These stores. So I don't know, but yeah. All right, here she is. Here she is, hot 100. She's there in bed with the shirt. Very attractive, yeah. I'll say, and also featuring Megan Fox, Olivia Rodrigo, whoever she is, Dua Lipa, Nicki Minaj. Sexy? Nicki Minaj? I don't want to say that out loud. I don't want to get shot. I don't want to get shot to death. Oh, Nicki Minaj. Yeah, she's sexy too. Yeah. Sexy. Woo. Got that booty. Kylie Jenner, not Caitlyn Jenner, and Anna D. Armas, and many, many more. So they want you to buy the article, or they want you to buy the magazine so you can look at pictures of all these chicks in various stages of undress. Here she is with her shirt open, not playing golf though. None of these pictures have a golf club, and there's got one shirt all ripped off, showing her stuff. Got a jacket that doesn't really fit, and then showing her stuff, wearing a thong, standing on top of a table, clearly CG'd in, probably on the shores of Gitchy Goomy, man. And that was the whole article, just mostly not partially nude pictures of her, saying there has been a ton of stuff going on that's been really crappy, and it's just so frustrating. She said, so I think this made her happy. So why is it that these women need to do this? And I say need because I see this a lot. And now you have, socialist media. Now you've got a platform for them. They could build their fan base of robots and put themselves out there saying, "Ooh, look at me. Here I am naked. Look at me, I'm naked." Britney Spears was doing that left and right all over the place. Ever since she came out of the loony bin, she's been like taking off her clothes and, "Hey, look at me. Here's me. This is me naked." Like it's a thing. Let me tell you, I'm going to be brutally honest with all of you right now. Shut the radio off if you can't handle that, right? Maybe have a sip of coffee so we can get real. Mm. That's good, man. Brutally honest time. Of course, I always am to you. Women's private parts aren't attractive. All right, there, I said it. Men's aren't either. They're called bumping uglies for a reason. So when people get like naked, you know, it's not something that necessarily you'd really want to see. You know what I mean? And once you've seen it, you don't need to see it again. It's kind of like that. You don't need to. It's not like a dog sniffing a crotch. You don't need to revisit. You know what I mean? Constantly to see it. It's like the people that put, I'll say, well, women do it mainly. I've never seen any guys do it. Put their selfie up on the internet, like, 20 to 40 times a day. Like you forgot what they look like, and then it overflows on your thing. Then you got to snooze them. Just get rid of them because it gets ridiculous. There are people that want constant attention, and that's what it is. It's attention, right? So, Britney Spears just got married. The saga that she won back her conservatorship from her father. It was a judge that ordered the conservatorship to begin with because she went nuts, shaved her head bald, was attacking parked cars with an umbrella, and it was either the conservatorship or going into the loony bin, a mental health facility. How's that? That's the mental health facility, right? So the father stepped to it and said, "Hey, I'll do this." He helped her rebuild her fortune. She was deeply in debt when he got that conservatorship. People seem to forget that. And then he had rebuilt her fortune of about 60 million or more, paid himself a salary for part of it. And then these same ones, oh, he stole money from her. He took these things. Hey man, if you're managing someone's financial assets and they're making money and they're making profits and you're spending your time doing it, there's a lot of businesses that actually have exactly that role of a chief financial officer. There are people that do all that. This guy resurrected her career, her fortune, kept her safe, and then she got involved with this dude, Sam Ashgadi, Iranian dude who found the American dream. Man, I think actually to him he did, because he just married the cash cow. He just married $60 million. And since the conservatorship has been over, she's been ordering up private planes, buying all kinds of crazy stuff, going on shopping trips with her new man, of course. Spending, spending, spending. Here's just an idea, right? On her wedding, I read this in an article real quick, which I thought was interesting because that was the headline of the article. On her wedding, she said it was the first time in her life that she ever wore a diamond thong. Diamond thong. And whatever, they say what it costs, but you know what costs, right? And this is someone who's just pissing away their money. She's not making money. She's not out there performing. She's not out there making new music. This woman has basically hit the wall. She's like 40 years old. She's in that realm. I think the guy's like 27 or something. She hit the wall. There's nothing more for her. Pop star is over when you get into that latter part of your life. It's done. Stick a fork in it. Why do you think that she shaved her head bald and was attacking parked cars with an umbrella? Why do you think? Because her career is over. You know. So it's all about people and their perceptions, man. So, but posing naked, and also wearing when that the whole diamond thong was such a turn off. I don't know whether they meant it to be a turn on in the article, whether they meant it to be like, ooh, that's sexy. She got a diamond thong. I just see a woman that hit the wall is not, she looks like a mom. You know what I mean? Like a messed up mom at that, because she's got some severe problems, and people around her and her new husband are exploiting those problems, right? So, and they turned her against her parents. And I read into all that because I was fascinated with the two-faced turnaround against the parents, especially the father, since he had done so much for her. And you guys know me, I'm pretty even on things. If I had thought that there was any kind of corruption going on or any kind of wrongdoing, I'd certainly say it. I don't know these people. I don't want to know them. I don't want to know of them, right? So it's like that. But let's say that there's a lot of people out there who are on a very a selfish kick. It's the me first movement is going on. Now you heard the me too. Now it's the me first movement, right? And then I saw this story about Eduardo Rodriguez. Eduardo Rodriguez, everyone. He's a baseball player. You gotta if your name is Eduardo Rodriguez, you have to be a baseball player. It's kind of the way it goes. But Tigers pitcher Eduardo Rodriguez has been placed on the restricted list because of a marital issue, according to sources, and there's no date for his return. Rodriguez appeared to set to return to the mound from a rib injury when the marital issue arose, and the team granted his request to take time to attend to a private matter. The Tigers have not said anything publicly about Rodriguez's absence beyond a statement saying it is related to personal matters. It was learned that personal matter is marriage related, and I hear through the grapevine, the sports grapevine, is that his wife is causing him all kinds of issues, and she's a real pill, and that when he was injured, like she was flipping out on that, and then they're in turmoil, right? So in his idea to solve that problem, he's taking time off, but Rodriguez, who's 29 years old, will not be paid while he's on the restricted list. He was supposed to make $14 million this season. $14 million walking away for this issue, and I don't understand why like these women get involved with these guys who are the big dollar sports guys. They got big wallets, not much between the ears most of the time. You know what I mean? And I'm not generalizing. I'm going by actual information that's out there and readily available. And then they take advantage of them, and then they get them you know, wrapped around their little finger, and they control them, and then do whatever they want to do. Is like they can destroy them. It's like the prince, Prince Harry, right? With his woman, the whole thing. They went to England and whatever. And I don't know if you were following it. The Queen's Jubilee. I don't like royals. I think they're as useless can come. They don't do anything. They don't stand for anything. They're just about wealth and their own personal power and what they could do. And they're all these terrible families. It's like watching Star Wars, right? You realize that all the trouble after you watch all the Star Wars, all the trouble in the whole universe comes down to one family. One family. Like, oh my god. So, but it's the Malibu Barbie princess who has the prince wrapped around her little finger. And she has reincarnated his mom, dressing like her, acting like her, even talking like her, apparently, from what I understand. But this dude, you notice that Prince Harry sat with all the children when the whole jubilee was happening. He wasn't really with the adults. He was with the kids, and playing with them. And that one, Andrew. Oh my God, what a handful that one is, right? Little spoiled brats. That's what they are. I don't think his antics are cute or nothing. I think they're just little spoiled brats, but little royal spoiled brats. But it's very telling that Harry still is in a child's mind type of attitude. He's kind of, struggling. He's struggling with everything that happened to him, his mom, the whole situation, right? But now he's got this woman, he's got mommy problems, and she stepped right in there. She's older. She was already married. She knew the ropes and how to control someone psychologically, especially when they're like that and so easily controlled. So wow, I liked him better when he was naked falling into pools in Las Vegas. He seemed real, Now he's stuck. But that's what it reminds me of anyway, right? Polina Porizkova. I've talked about her here and there. So she was a supermodel at one point, right? Now she's 57. She's she's not in the zone of supermodel anymore. She's gone beyond. Every once in a while, a couple months, she takes to the internet and takes her clothes off and declares something or other about nudity and her own nudity, or she'll take pictures of herself crying. She does that a lot. Girls like to do that. So you picture, see how pathetic they can look, and take a picture and send it to you. Look who's in it. Yeah. So, bowling, bowling. Can you imagine the generation from the 40s? Like my mom was born in the 40s, and I was thinking of that generation back then. And I had known a bunch of men from my father's gas station who were in World War II. Who these guys were badasses, man. The bomb hunters and this and that and whatever. And the stuff they did is like wow, and they called it the greatest generation because the women pulled together and worked, the men pulled together and went to war. And it was an effort that was people relied on each other anyway, right? This generation, I can't even imagine that. I can't even imagine that. They all need their safe space, offended by everything. And oh my god, I think Putin knows that too, eh? You think their world leaders don't see this type of stuff. So Polina Porskova, I know she was married to a rock star for a while, and then he divorced her. I think it was Rick Ocasek, right? And he divorced her, and before the divorce, he cut her off from all kinds of money, and she was like, "That's what she was crying about." I think whatever. I don't know. It was something like that. I might have that a little bit chopped up. Let me see. You know what? I'm actually going to look that up right now. With the power of the internet, because I don't tend to follow these things like follow them. You know what I mean? I like to just talk about it in the instance there. And here we go. Let's see. She recently opened up about feeling betrayed when she found out that she had been left out of Rick Ocasek's will. I would love to be able to be sad and miss him and not also feel this incredible hurt and betrayal. Doesn't that having the last word? I mean, because Rick Ocasek died, unfortunately, Of course, he was in the band called The Cars. And yeah, she looked good back then. Me, he married her. She's a supermodel. He could afford her. It's like Paige Spearnack, right? I look at her and I see a well-tuned brand new Ferrari. You know what I mean? And I know that I can't afford a well-tuned brand new Ferrari. I can't even afford to tune my own car. little, little Ferrari. So we have to all live within the realm of common sense and not the realm of impossible impossibilities unless you come upon that kind of money where you can have it. Because the only thing that separates you from Rick Ocasek and Paulina Portskova is money. And if Rick Ocasek was Rick Ocasek, the greeter at Walmart, he wouldn't have been with Paul. She wouldn't have been with him. She wouldn't have reached into her heart and found all of this love. I love him. The way he says hello to those Walmart people and when they come in, I love him. He chases people down who steal the TV set. I love him. No, they love the wallet. She loved the wallet, the big fat music business greasy wallet. So for her to sit there, I wish I could be able to be sad and miss him. That's bullcrap. She just is sad because she misses the money. She misses the money. But yeah, he cut her out. He cut her out. Let's see. He was 75 when he died, so that's kind of life expectancy for a male in the United States of America. Of course, we have a president well beyond that who's fading, fading, fading fast. It's funny how you got Joe Biden saying that people shouldn't have guns and whatever. Meanwhile, he's a senile old man, probably with Alzheimer's, who's in control of nuclear missiles. So how's that? Go to sleep with that on your mind. Let's see. Their $10 million Gramercy Park townhouse, and he had rewritten his will just weeks before, and had her cut out entirely, forcing her to give up their home. The pair was in the process of going through a divorce prior to his death. Oh, what's wrong with that? He didn't want her to have the money. They were going through a divorce. I'm sure if we read all into this, man, there's a hell of a lot there. So good. Now she has to be on on Instagram showing her wares to get people to like her so she can make a couple bucks, right? In the post, Portskova is wearing lacy underwear and partially unraveled pointed toe heels. Her stomach is on proud display. You know what? I see a very pathetic picture of an older woman who should have more respect for herself and is sitting there, kind of like putting herself out there uh, for the attention purposes. So yeah, here we go. She says, Did you know we are programmed as humans to compare ourselves to others? We can't avoid comparing, but we can control our reactions to the comparison. I'm a 57-year-old woman starting my life over. I compare myself to other women my age all the time when I fit in, but somehow feel like I also stand out in a positive way. I feel good about myself. When I fail, I feel ashamed. She's going through like every emotion. Like every emotion, like in this, what she just wrote right here, there's like every emotion going on. So every one of her personalities is coming out, and she's basically naked except for some panties, you know. And you don't want to be the hottest looking 57-year-old. There's a problem there. I don't think you want to be that. you know, because there's no other room to go. I mean, people should look their age and age gracefully, and accept that. And she's not going to ever be 21 again, not in this life anyway. So this is the deal. This is what you've got. But there's the feminists out there. Don't go all over her. Paula, how dare you put yourself out there and expose yourself like this and flowing you out there sexuality when you should be focusing on the important things that you've done as a supermodel, like marrying a rich rock star. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, we have a lot more stories to get to, but man, oh man, we have no time. This hour goes too fast, too damn fast. So, I don't know. We only have a couple minutes left, even. How about this? How about this? We'll do this real fast, super fast. Woman puts baby up for adoption after sperm donor lied about his ethnicity. Ha ha! Whoo! Talk about a surprise. They had those reveal parties. Woohoo! A sperm donor's betrayal has led to one mother's shame and an orphan child. So you have the child. It's a baby. It's a human being. Well, because you don't like its ethnicity, you're going to get rid of the kid. A Japanese woman is suing a biological father of her second child for 330 million yen, which is $2.86 million. After learning that he lied about his identity, the Tokyo resident, who is in her 30s, thought she'd found a successful Japanese male with a Kyoto University education and had sex with him 10 times in an effort to get pregnant. The, the woman had previously had one child with her current husband, but decided to conceive with a donor when she learned her husband carried a hereditary disorder that could be passed to his offspring. So she went out to look for another dude. Oh my God, I wouldn't have dealt with that. The effort paid off in July of 2019, but soon after getting pregnant by the donor, the woman, who remains unidentified, learned that the biological father of her unborn child, in fact, is a married Chinese man. Uh, so she sent out for Chinese. There's nothing wrong with that. The woman decided to put her baby up for adoption. The Japanese and Chinese have such an issue with each other. There's real hatred back to back on there. So now she's suing the guy for fraud, citing emotional distress. This is a George Costanza type of thing. I've been watching Seinfeld episodes lately. I'm trying to revert to happier days when characters on TV I watch are actually likable. And George Costanza, that guy cracks me up, man. If you know, that's the kind of guy who would do that type of thing. But a baby's a baby's a baby. You should love it no matter what, right? Isn't that? But that's how people are sometimes. How cold and cruel the world could be. So I'm going to leave that. Just use love to guide you. Love be your lantern. And I'll see you guys next week on the Red Pill News. Adios, muchachos, from United Public Radio Network, UPRN Talk Radio.com.